Remuneration auction is set tough.
Welcome between these hallowed hedges. Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, home to the Georgia Bulldogs. They've had a little chicken, they've had a little drink, and friends, it's time once again to let the big dogs eat. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers, taking on another team from the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Georgia likely to kick it deep to get things started. And he's going to bring it out. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. So the Auburn Tigers offense will have the first possession of the game. This rivalry is intense, guys, but with all of the connections between the two, it's more like a family feud more so than a bitter war.
And for example, about the connections, Reese, how about Vince Dooley, longtime Georgia coach, who went to Auburn? How about great player Pat Dye, All-American at Georgia? Coaches at Auburn, the connections are real, the rivalry is real.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
He's got his man. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on first and second down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. It makes me really predictable. So just make sure you take care of the football and find those plays you really like.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. So already a challenge on this opening drive. It's 3rd and 9. From the gun, wants to pass. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back in the 16. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team.
Well, I think a big key to linebackers having success when they blitz is the timing. Did you see how perfect that timing was by that linebacker? It's almost as if he knew when the snap count was. Great anticipation.
The Bulldogs offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. And a big key as this game unfolds is just how aggressive will he be throwing the football at a lockdown corner like that.
Yeah, and when you're an elite quarterback, you think you can do whatever you want to do, and you think you can make the right decisions. I'm interested to see how much he'll test that cornerback on the other side.
You know, there's a saying, there's no defense for a perfect pass, but he's got to be extra careful and sharp when he's throwing that guy's way.
They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. Looking downfield, it's Rashada. Nowhere close on that one as he got flipped. Incomplete. For the football, and now they face 3rd down. The Bulldogs pulled one out of the fire and beat Auburn in a close one the last time these two met.
Yeah, it was a really good one in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. You've seen so many great games in this matchup, and that was one of them. But Georgia came away with it, and Auburn got to think about that for a whole year.
That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
I think to be a good third down offense, guys, you've got to be able to run the football. You're going to come upon these third and short situations multiple times throughout the course of the year, but you've got to be able to get push up front, and it helps when you have a talent like that to turn around and hand the football off to you.
Guys, only Minnesota and Wisconsin have played more often than Auburn and Georgia. This rivalry is rich in tradition.
And you're right, Reese. This goes back to 1892. A long time. This game has been heated. You know a bunch of the names, a bunch of the storylines. And speaking of storylines, how about the mascot for Georgia? Literally trying to bite an Auburn wide receiver. That's how real this rivalry is.
They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here.
And how do you counteract all the speed you have in college football? You chase the quarterback and the skill position guys with faster guys. You bring in more DBs. You bring them down in the box. You get them near the line of scrimmage so they can make big plays with their fast speed in the backfield.
And the punt hits at the 8 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive. So they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth game if I were allowed to have push passes on those flank quarterbacks. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
Third down play from the gun. Got it in the middle. It's White. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback finding his open receiver on third down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is third down conversion percentage. If you're a great third down team, it's a...
And this looks disastrous. Oh, down he goes. A huge loss on that play.
And that's a great job by the defense not letting that bird out of the cage. When you can run like this guy can, you got to keep the edge. Did a great job. He went backwards, retreated, gave up some ground. They didn't give up the...
All by himself down the middle. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
Power football with the run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
Off the play fake. Fires to the middle. All kinds of room to throw that one in there.
And a really good job by the quarterback being very decisive. He saw his matchup, he went for it, he attacked it, got the positive gain. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
They'll try to get it in with the run. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Auburn. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this...
Snags it down the right side. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels.
Hey, 5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple of carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest, pound that rock.
That's the end of the quarter, and Auburn has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. And they've swapped ends of the field, and we'll get it going in the second. Kept it on the ground on first down, now back to the line. He'll try it again. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
Quarterback checking the play. Wants to throw on third down. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down. This Georgia offense moving quickly down the field. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. Tackle is made at the 30-yard line after he picked up 4.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Looking for a gap, it's Burns. Not a whole lot of room as he gets a couple inside the 30 to the 29.
Man, that D-tackle is a freak athlete. Did you see him come out of his stance and beat the offensive lineman, getting to the running back? Cat-like quickness.
Quickly out to the tight end. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. Georgia coming out with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw, it's Grishada. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Good job on defense, getting a hand on it, tipping it up in the air. They weren't able to pick it off, but they do force the incompletion.
After missing the connection last time, it's 2nd and 10 from the 22. Nowhere to go, and the ball's loose. And the defense snatches it, and they've reversed the field. Oh, the big fella. Look at the big fella rumble. You're not getting him on the ground, still on his feet. Touchdown, Tiger. And the defense doing work. That ball was squirting around on the field, finally corralled by the defense, and they turn it into 6.
And it's so hard defensively. Do I jump on it and make sure I get it, or do I scoop it up and try to make the big play? He chose to scoop it up, and it pays off, makes the big play, gets the touchdown.
And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
He's going to throw deep right side. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. He makes the connection and works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down. With all those receivers in the game, you might think they were getting ready to try to take a big shot. Instead, just efficiently moving the chains.
Yeah, you got all that speed. It scares the mess out of me. I might give you more of a cushion, especially in some areas where you're going to get good matchups of safeties or linebackers on receivers. Nice execution by the offense, getting the free first down.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, this defense knew they had a tall task playing against this Heisman-caliber quarterback, and the best way to affect him is with pressure. They were able to hit him on that play, and that forced the incompletion.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
They convert on third down as he gets it to the 46-yard line. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. They'll run the screen. He'll get it all the way down to the 8-yard line, and the defense is feeling the heat. That was just a perfectly choreographed screen. The line got out on time. The running back had a wall in front of it.
And I think the quarterback did a really good job of selling pass and then kind of dodging the pass rush, getting it to the running back, and then let him do the rest. You got him in space, he'll pick up yards in a hurry.
They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Now on 1st and goal, let's see what Georgia will do. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Picked up some of what they needed on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Lowers those pads, and he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
That's a nice drive, a nice physicality, punching it in with the run game. And here's the thing, I like where this offense is going. Nice job creating some momentum, going into the half, cutting down the lead. This thing could get really exciting. Nice job answering the bell right before the half.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. South Carolina is on the wrong end of a one-sided affair today, and if you'll pardon the pun, the chickens are going to come home to roost this week in Columbia. They're trailing by 14 to LSU. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Get it out on the screen. Not able to break the big one on that screen to the running back, but he found enough and a solid pickup on 1st down. They'll immediately call timeout. The completion short of the sticks, it's 2nd down. He's looking to throw. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally now you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Running back searching for a hole. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline.
And how about this offense? What are you thinking as a defense right now? I'm thinking pass, bringing in guys, making sure I stay deep, playing for the pass, and they run the run right at him. Kind of catch him off guard, get the big yardage, big play, first down for this offense.
Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another first down. He wants to throw. Out of the backfield, he's open. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
You know, and that's why this guy can play first, second, and third down. You've already seen him earlier in the drive rip off some nice runs, but he can catch the football as well. And they're going to find ways to get him going in all sorts of ways, but you're seeing it specifically on this drive.
On second down, wants to throw it. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds. Chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a third and long. This one from the 44. From the gun, wants to pass. Right down the middle. Complete downfield. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. Trying to find his man on first down. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Pocket starts to collapse. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Yeah, this offense might want to think about moving the launch point for this QB, because if you take hits like that from the pocket, it's really tough to complete passes.
And it's third down, but they're going to go ahead and try the field goal and try to get points before the break. No good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
Listen, he's a guy that makes 60-yarders in practice, so they give him that opportunity with his big leg. He misses it. The opponent didn't set up the return, so they're going to get the football back now. A pretty good field position. There's still a few ticks left on the clock. They've got a chance to steal some points here late in the half.
Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Man, all the tradition and bad blood between these programs, it's all kind of come to a boil today in a spirited first half in this battle between the Tigers and Dogs. And I get it. A lot of coaches will say the difference between winning and losing comes down to stopping big plays and getting big plays. But if you ask me, it's more about how good you are on third down and how efficient you are in keeping drives alive. Those two stats can help you break the will of even the best defenses and help you come out on top. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Auburn and Georgia plays out.
Just about set here in the second half as Auburn about to kick it off. Coming out with it, it's Tuggle. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think then if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first first 30 minutes, you cannot.
To throw, it's Rashada. Fires to the wideout. Got his man downfield. And he's running in the open. Touchdown, Dogs! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. And they did make the extra point, and we have a tie ball game here in the third. That drive, a great example of just how potent this offense can be. 2 plays, 80 yards, give them the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. He's got great speed. He's got an alley. He's going to get loose. He will score. Touchdown, Auburn. He is a field-flipping machine. Taking on one end, return it to the other.
And now you get to celebrate. What a beautiful job. We always talk about defense. We always talk about offense. But, man, when your special teams come through for you and score, it is huge, and it provides such a boost for the crowd.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, the score is now 21-14. They're lining up for the kickoff, and let's see if this return team can answer with a score of its own. He'll bring it out. It's Tuggle. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Find some space, enough to get 5 to the 22.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up third and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that second down by this defense.
They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Now they'll really try to get this drive going. Good execution on third down as they have it first and 10 at the 31.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. They say you could call holding on every play. Well, they did on that one. First down here for the offense. Back to throw, it's Rashada. Got his man quickly. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
Offense gets set for second down. Leaves it with the running back. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Well, the defense may have been caught off guard a little bit on that play. It was second and long. They weren't expecting the run, so now we've got third and manageable, and they've got to be wondering to themselves, is this offense going to try to run the ball again here?
Fires to the big fella. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. And the Dogs are on the move.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like, because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
Got 3 on first down. It's second and 7. He's looking to throw. Grabbed over the middle. It's Tuggle. And he's tripped up, but not before picking up the first down. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too.
He's got it inside the 15. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. Georgia ready to dial it up on another first down. Wants to throw. It's Rashada. Pressure coming. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack.
And that is a huge play for the defense. Offense has it in your red zone. You're trying to knock them out of field goal range. The only way you do that is by creating negative plays, and they get the sack.
That last play, the kind of thing that can mess up a really good drive. It's 2nd and 17. They'll run behind the big guys on the right. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Georgia!
And the running back gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
PAT unit on the field. And the extra point was made without incident, and we're tied up here in the third. All tied up and just about set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner goes down. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. We talk about settling for points, but sometimes when you have to settle for nothing, David, it can be demoralizing.
Yeah, and it can definitely be frustrating.
And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. Just about the time the quarterback got the snap, that dude was in his mustache.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry in the backfield. Got him to the ground before he could even think about getting the laces and trying to get the ball out of his hands.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. They go to the counter. And he was able to pick his way for just a few yards, and that'll wrap up the third quarter. What a ride. It's been through the first 3 quarters of this game. We are all tied up. Let's check out some stats. These two teams about to find out what they're made of as we open the fourth, all tied up. They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got his man. And he converts on third down as he gets it out to the 26.
There's a reason third down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at third down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
To the air on first down. Quick completion on the out. And that defense doesn't allow a cutback, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands, and you saw it on that last play.
Caught near the sticks. It's White. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the first down.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
The Tigers are rolling down the field. Working the middle, it's complete. And he was just a couple of steps away from taking that one even further after the catch.
Good job reading the defense by the quarterback on that RPO feed. He waited to see how the defense was going to play the run. He saw defenders bite up close to the line of scrimmage, and right away he knew he had the slant throw right in behind it.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
It's a nice game, but the big theme here is they just haven't been able to get the run game going on offense. They've been very one-dimensional. They're just not being physical enough at the point of attack.
Throws to the wideout. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
In football, you hear the term quick but don't hurt. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate in his pass.
Big 3rd down as the crowd gets behind this defense. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. And they gave him no chance to get loose, and they force a 4th down.
I mean, good news here, they get the completion. Bad news, though, not enough to pick up the 1st down. The target there, he's got to do a better job understanding where the 1st down marker is, make sure he gets the right depth on his route. Now, all of a sudden, head coach has a big decision.
And that is no good. And in the final quarter of regulation, we remain tied, guys.
Man, that's tough for the kicker. Here you are in the 4th quarter. You're trying to break this tie, give your team the lead, and knock it off the apple.
We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass and winding up in the end zone, Jesse?
That's why recruiting is so important. They've got weapons at every skill position on the field. Any of these guys is dangerous if they touch the football. Let's see what they do on this drive, David.
And so, Palmer, I got to take away something. I can't let them have everything and have success. I got to be aggressive against the run or play for the pass. I can't give them everything.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride. And they want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the 1st.
And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
You know, you better form tackle better on defense. You had a chance to make a big play, miss the running back, and as a result, he's getting positive yards. Defense has to do a better job of finishing.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Give to the running back. Still on his feet at the 45. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it. The Bulldogs have it with a 1st and 10. They'll give it to him again. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Here's the handoff. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. Looking to help the kicker out on 3rd down. From here, it would be a 59-yard attempt. They'll go to the ground. On the move at the 30. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's 1st down. This drive has been exclusively on the ground. Could they be setting up a shot play? The give to the tailback. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
It's all tied up. This offensive line, they want the pressure. They want everything to go through them here. They're saying, look, let's just run the ball. Let's get this thing down closer and closer to the goal line. Let's bleed some clock and put ourselves in a position to win.
Timeout called here by the defense. It's their 1st of the half.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the 1st down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the 1st down mark.
The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Back to pass, it's Rashada. He caught it. Touchdown, Bulldogs! And they've moved out front here in the fourth.
What a great game, tied late in the ballgame. Who's going to make the big play? They come up with it late, take the lead. Nice execution. It's hard to execute in these moments. People get tight. The score's tied late in the game. I don't want to mess up, but this offense doesn't worry about messing up. They put the ball in the end zone and take the lead.
The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. South Carolina looks lost today, and boy, does it show right now on the scoreboard. Almost like the coaching staff spent the week in Hilton Head instead of the film room. They're trailing by 21 to LSU. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Looking to go up top on first down. He looks that one in nicely. Makes the catch, and he's brought down. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. On second down, he'll let it fly. He wants a big play here late. He got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Late in the game with the lead, the defense obviously knows here the offense is going to have to try and throw it. Nice job in the back end there, not just in coverage, but almost picking that football off. That was a game changer.
Fires into traffic, picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
I tell you what, it puts you in a tough position when you're backed up inside your own 20 trying to come out. But when you're a defense and you can force a turnover and you already set your offense up in scoring position, they are going to be extremely happy, and that offensive coordinator is going to look extremely smart.
Touchdown, Dogs! And they take it in for 6 more points. They add a little more to the lead as they are right on the verge of ending this long losing streak.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down, to go out and refocus this drive there.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some...
And the sack all the way back at the 5. The offense gets a quick timeout at this point, and every second is precious. They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. A strike downfield. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. Every second is meaningful, and they save a few of them with the spike.
Brings up second down.
Line getting set on second down. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
You got to put that one on the receiver. That's just a flat-out drop. That's a good throw by the quarterback. That's a catch that receiver needs to make.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Pass on the way. It's picked off. Trying to take it back. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes if you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring. I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
I agree 1,000%. That's like Steve Spurrier back in the day when I was playing for the Gators. You go and play for him because you want the opportunity to throw the ball. So when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop him.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. I think they'd keep it on the ground here to drain as much time as possible off that clock and hold on to this lead. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
And that's exactly what I want from my offense. Like, listen, they're out of timeouts. I want this clock to tick. Now, we have seen some college coaches across college football continue to run the football and also give up the football and give a gift to the other team. This one's over if I just take a knee.
There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. And David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
And it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions running so deep. Like, you sometimes get overzealous. Sometimes you get too many penalties. It's hard to rein in your emotions, but they did. They kept it in check, and now bragging rights for a whole year.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.